This, guys, is a start again. Dime qué es lo que esperas. Dime qué quieres ver. Good morning, beautiful ones. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Joseph. It's lovely to meet you. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Now then, guys, in today's review tutorial, we're having a close look at this, which arrived yesterday, and this is the Revolution XX Skin Blur Skin Tint, and this is one of those very lightweight, very sheer. Again, this is going to be a blind review, so I know nothing about this other than what it says on the bottle. I didn't read any of the branding. I did have to go onto the website to choose the shade, obviously, but luckily the shades are near the top, so I just went on, found which one was, you know, best suited for cool Nordic choppies like mine. Although I'm not Nordic at all, I'm Welsh. I'm showing off there quite severely, so nothing Nordic about me, guys, at all. So yeah, and that's what we'll be looking at today. So if that sounds like something you guys want to find out more about, stick around. So, beautiful ones, a good question would be, what is a blind review and why do we do them on the House of Joseph? Well, a blind review is a novel take on your traditional YouTube foundation review, skincare review, any sort of review really. And the whole point behind me doing them is just that they are different. So it's with your entertainment and your, well, yeah, your entertainment. I always have that in mind. So, and I don't know about you guys out there, but sometimes I get a bit bored watching foundation reviews. Do you know what I mean? Someone just gets the product out of the box, they slap it on their face, it's simultaneously reading the website. And what I do in blind reviews is I turn that all on its head. So take this one, which we'll be looking at today, the XX Skin Blur Skin Tint by Revolution. This, I know nothing about this, and I did that on purpose, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So I got this on Friday, today's Sunday, so this arrived yesterday in very, very good timing. Getting on off beaten track, yeah. And because I know nothing about the product itself, other than what it says on the bottle, I need to get as many clues as I can from the bottle. Then I try it on my face. I try it on the back of my hand first, I should say, just for, you know, to colour match, first impressions, so on. Then I put a swatch down here, again, colour match, first impressions. And then I try it various different ways. If it's a silicone-based foundation or skincare item, we can incorporate water. So I could soak my brush or use a soaked beauty blender or a sponge or what have you, until I form my own opinions of it. So it's pretty exhaustive, I guess you could say, couldn't you? And then towards the end of the review, we open up the website, we look at the website, and we just check to see whether my findings are way off or whether I agree with them or concur. It's a big word, isn't it? Concur. So yeah, that in a nutshell is what a blind review is. And I think what I might do is just make this a separate video in its own right, so that in future I'm not having to, you know, explain to you guys, because I don't mind doing that myself. It just must be boring for you ones out there to hear me repetitively going over and ad nauseum, do you know what I mean, about what actually a blind review is. So, and then I'll try and link that up. It is up there, isn't it, all there? I think it's there, isn't it? I'm not having a bad day at all today, guys. No, none of that business, do you know what I mean? So what I might do is just, did you like the video I did yesterday on the blur stick thing, and I added my bloomers towards the end of the video? So if you want me to do that in future, just let me know, because there'll be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bloopers, sorry, that's a blooper in itself, isn't it? Every time I make new videos, I'm always going wrong. And if you want to see some more of those, I might just add them on to the end of this video anyway, just for your amusement. Right, so guys, I ordered this one from Revolution online. I'll put the website down here. It's revolutionbeauty.com, I think that's it, or something like that. And Revolution is a British company, so that's a big thumbs up from me there. And this arrived yesterday around 6 p.m. So, and today's Sunday, so Saturday, so 2 days that took to arrive. And I think postage was something like £3.50, possibly £3.59, in the region of around £3, between £3 and £4. So that's a bargain in itself, isn't it? And this was £10. Now then, guys, the size of this is, I've just found out, the size of this is actually 23mm versus the bog standard 30mm. So it's significantly smaller than, you know, it's nearly a third smaller than the traditional 30mm foundation. So that's already a concern of mine. And I've noticed that Revolution do actually do that a lot. They take your, you know, the traditional size of a foundation, a lipstick or a primer, and they slash it by a third or even a quarter or even a half in some instances. So, and this is the box it arrived in, guys, just a bog standard. How many times am I going to say bog standard today? Just a normal garden variety cardboard box with some paper inside, and there's some Revolution branding on the inside. I don't know if you can see that or not. There, you can see that down there, can't you? So quite a big box for such a Why such a huge, sorry, that's Tinder. Why such a huge box for such a small product? It's just, again, defeating me totally because of the packaging involved. Well, I'll move you back in and then we'll talk about this one, shall we? Let's do it. And how I like to kick off a blind review is just to describe basically what I can see in my hand. So this is a clear plastic, well, it's frosted plastic tube, I guess you could call it, around 23 mils. Again, way much smaller than your, don't keep harping on about that, please, man. In trouble with myself already, guys. Not a good sign, is it? Never is. With a frosted pastel sort of pinky mauve, I guess you could call that, or violet. No, it's certainly not violet. Lavender, sort of lavender coloured lid or screw-off lid, and I guess it's quite trendy looking, isn't it? It's got a holographic sort of vibe going on with the label on the front. And this is called the Revolution XX. That, I don't know whether that's a brand in its own right or a diffusion of Revolution, like Revolution Pro, Revolution Men. I didn't even know they did Revolution Men. Wow, brilliant. I'll have to investigate that and start buying some of those products, won't I, at some point? Although there's no difference between stuff for men and stuff for women. That, again, that's a branding ploy. But okay, so, and this is called Skin Blur Soft Focus Skin Tint. And this is with Demi Matte Finish. You can see that there, can't you? And this also contains peptides. Now then, guys, FYI, I have just peeled off the, that label there, and that's the only way you can see the ingredients because obviously space is limited, isn't it, on something like this. That is instructions, that's warnings, directions for use, so on. That we've already spoken about, but unfortunately I can't see any peptides in the ingredients. I just can't. So I don't know whether they're fibbing to us or not, guys, but let me have another look. Sorry, I'll have to speed this bit up or edit this bit out. But so in this you've got, no, definitely no peptides. But I think what I may have done is removed half of the label with some of the ingredients on, because the first ingredient I can see on there is quite a big, so I think it's a viscosity controller or something like that. Doesn't matter really, does it, for today's tutorial? But can someone remind me a little bit later on when we get to the website, please, to look for peptides? That would be great. Thank you so much. Just let me know in the comments, guys. I know you can't. Do you know what I mean? Because by the time this... Right, get on with it, man. Okay, will do. And this costs £10 from Revolution online. I don't know whether you can buy it in the shops yet or not. Obviously, Superdrug sells, maybe not obviously. I don't know why do I keep saying obviously, guys? Maybe it's not obvious to some of you out there. It's not even obvious to me on occasion, but right. Superdrug is one of the only places which sells Revolution cosmetics or skincare in England at the minute. I don't know whether you can buy this in America or not. I'm sure you can access it via Revolution online, but can you see it's got a cellophane sort of covering or a shrink wrapping protection, isn't it? So I've already started to peel that off just for time. So, and this is in shade soft beige. Sorry guys, I should have told you that at the start, shouldn't I? Yeah, soft beige. You can see that there. Can I put this over here? And although this is actually a blind review today, and I haven't looked at any of the claims or anything, I did actually have to look at the shades when I went on to Revolution to purchase the product. Luckily for me, the shades were near the top, so all I had to do was just go on there and select my shade. Now, the shades are broken down into 4 categories, I believe. You've got olive, cool, warm, and then neutral undertones. And Revolution is great for that. They really, really are. So my hat comes off to Revolution for their shade range. So... And lastly, before I take my spectacles off and start slapping this all over this half-century-year-old face of mine, stop going on about how old I am, please. Okay, will do. I'm in trouble with myself yet again. Happens all the time on the House of Joseph, though, guys. There is just a claim here which just says demi-matte finish. So that's what we'll be looking for. And on the back, up there's some more claims. And this just says medium coverage with a natural soft finish. So there are things we're looking for today. Demi-matte, soft finish, and medium coverage, wasn't it? Yeah. So without any further waffle, I'll crack him open. I'm getting a bit nervous again. Why do I get so anxious about opening up these things? I suppose it's because I'm expecting big things from them and they ultimately let me down, didn't they? But don't matter, does it? Right, so I'll take the lid off, and I know for a fact this has got fragrance in it because I saw it on the ingredients list, so that should be plenty just for our first impressions or just impressions in any other language or any other's words. So it looks pretty pale to me, and I think they had 2 different shades which were quite cool. I think there was beige and then soft beige next to each other, and I plumbed for soft beige in the end because I thought it would be more. Right, okay, now that goes on very, very nicely indeed. Very, very sheer, very water light, I would call that. On the old rubber arm. Rubber arm's made a comeback today. it's getting withdrawals from its spotlight on and its slot on its regular slot on YouTube. So Rubber Arm's back with a vengeance today. So now that is a really, I just need to clean fingers, sorry. I love the smell of this. It is absolutely gorgeous. Really, really, really lovely. And I'm being serious there, guys. It smells of, has anyone ever tried Estee Lauder's Fruition? You know, the alpha hydroxy. And there's the Fruition Extra came out 10 or 12 years after Fruition was released in the 1990s or possibly the 1980s. And Fruition itself was just the most beautiful smelling skincare thing I think I've ever come across. And since Fruition original formulation and Fruition Extra, I've been looking for something to try and recapture that scent, and that smells just like it, guys. So, and it's not offensive at all. It's not that French flowery sort of sweet sort of cloying sort of scent. So it doesn't make you physically want to, do you know what I mean? So, yep. So that's a big thumbs up to me. Very, very, very sheer on the back of the hand. Very sheer indeed. So can't stop smelling it now, guys. I'm so excited. I found something which smells like, you heard me say that, didn't you? And that has dried. So I put that on about, where's my, I moved my clock. So I put some of my paintings where the, stop waffling, man. Okay, my clock's over there now. So if you see me looking in that direction, then I'm looking at the clock, whereas it used to be over there. There are paintings there now. So I'll be looking, right. It just smells gorgeous, guys. Do you want to sniff? What do you reckon? It smells beautiful, doesn't it? We haven't invented smell-o-vision. But when we do, we can exchange scents, can't we, beautiful ones, on a regular basis? Why not? It's what it's all about, isn't it, guys? It's what television, I mean, we're sharing visions or visual images with each other. Why shouldn't we share smells too, eh? Hurry up and invent smell-o-vision. Some or James Dyson could invent one, couldn't he? Bless him. Do you know, I had a history teacher called James Dyson. He used to wear a whalebone corset. Julie, if you're watching, you remember James Dyson, don't you? Jimmy boy. Right, okay, shall I carry on? Right. Sorry, Julie was a school friend of mine, and yeah. Shall I talk about this foundation rather than my schoolhood adventures and me being very naughty in history? Yeah, okay, I'll do that. I was saying, but wasn't I, before I went off on my massive tangent there? And I do that quite regularly as well, guys. So that has dried totally now. It dried within about a minute to a minute and a half, I would say. Initially, it felt really, really water-light on the skin. Not greasy, not cloying, not heavy at all. And by the way, I don't prep my skin in real because I don't wear foundation in it on a daily basis. But for my reviews for you guys, what I do is I shave my skin. And then I don't apply primer, moisturizer, or anything, because I do firmly believe that, in fact, I know that these skincare, makeup and foundations are designed to be used on bare skin. They're not to be designed to, They're not designed to be used with primers, moisturizers, serums, and so on. So claims you see from the companies making, say, 24-hour wear, something like that, that is just on bare skin. So you then go and incorporate a moisturizer or a serum. That claim is basically taken away. So FYI and all of that, beautiful ones. So, right. Can you see him? It's really, really sheer, isn't it? Really, really sheer. But, right, I'll get a swatch on now. So open it up again, and I'm just so pleased that this smells just lovely. As opposed to that awful. It was the Maybelline, wasn't it? The Maybelline Dream Satin. Just I'll link that into the description if you want me to, because that, can you see that there? So, and that was just the most foul smelling, really, really heavily perfumed. So we're looking for some kind of a blur here, aren't we? Wow. I'll just clean my fingers. J-Cloth sat in my lap. It's not over there, man. It's in your lap. I don't think this is silicone based. And no, I don't think it is a silicone based formulation, but right. Okay. Can you see that swatch I've just put there? Come a little bit closer. Quite impressed with it. It's very, very, very lightweight, very, very sheer. I guess any skin type could use this. My skin's oily to combination, a little bit oilier in the summer, normal to dry, normal to combination in the winter. So, yeah, I'm not so sure about the blurring aspect of this tint, but colour-wise, it's because obviously you need to try and match that part of your skin and your neck. And if the foundation disappears on both of those areas, you found your shade. I might just bring that down a little bit onto my neck, because obviously my neck is ultra pale, isn't it? Because I've been living inside a cardboard box for the past half a century. I so haven't, guys. Being an old drama queen yet again. Should we see if we can build this up as well once I put it on my face? But and we'll try with where's my J-Cloth again in your lap. Don't keep looking over there, man. Whatever. Do you know what I mean? Whatever, just leave me alone. Stop picking on me, please. So I've got a bit of a feeling this is going to be a little bit too pale for me, but it looks quite good so far, doesn't it? And on the skin, it does feel slightly silicone. You know, that powdery sort of silky sort of feel, which a lot of silicone, in fact, every silicone foundation primer, so on and so forth, will provide. So yeah, we may be able to use water. Who knows? Should we find out? Let's do that, guys, shall we? Let's do it. Right, beautiful ones. Now it's over to you guys. Which brush do you want me to use? I can always use my... I can either use... Get it right, please. Either use my... Stop being so harsh on me today. For goodness sakes, it's Sunday morning, 9:30. So, you know, I'm bound to be a little bit rusty, aren't I? Stop picking. We could use... So, guys, we could either use the oval brush, the stipple brush, or the paddle brush. And I think I'm inclined to go with the paddle brush. Should we use that? Let's do it. Right, guys, so I'll get a big old dollop of this one on the back of my hand and give this a fair old review, shall we? Do you reckon that'll be enough? And I tell you what, this at the minute, without it being on my face, out of just in the bottle, it reminds me, did anyone ever try, does anyone even remember, in fact, the company Prescriptives, an Estee Lauder owned company? And what Prescriptives were famous for was to colour match skin to foundations to your exact shade of skin tone. And then they did a line of skincare, and they did a skin tint called Traceless, which was again blurring. And this was in the late 1990s, early noughties, I believe. And this is what this reminds me of. Better get this on this old face, less of the old, before it ends up down my arm and all over my body, oughtn't I, really? So just a dry powder brush to start off with, and then we can start playing around with it, can't we, guys? So should we get all of that on there? And it is really, really, really water light. In fact, it reminds me of a serum. So just blend that one in there and put some of him on these old chops. Right, less of the old. Right, okay, so starting the whatever. Whatever, man. Wow, it just smells absolutely divine. I'm so chuffed that it just, do you know what I mean? Because obviously when I saw the word perfume or parfum in the ingredients, I thought, no, I'm not going to like this stuff at all. But it smells really, really, really classy and really expensive. Maybe because of my association with Estee Lauder and you know, the memories of fruition. Because you know how smells can evoke memories, can't they? And I think I was living in Hong Kong at the time when Fruition Extra was released. Now that it's disappeared off the brush, so it adheres to the skin really. Get some in that beard, shall we? Shut up. How can I shut up when I'm supposed to be talking to my gorgeous ones out there, eh? You okay, beautiful ones? Hope so. Having a good weekend? I do hope so, guys. I think about you all the time, gorgeous ones. Who was it? Was it Kimberly? Hi, Kimberly, who lives in Austin, Texas. How are you doing, lovely? Thank you so much for all of your support recently, and all of you actually, because you know I've been going through a relatively tough time. Kimberly said to me yesterday something about us being a community, and I suppose we are, really, aren't we? We're a huge family, aren't we, guys? And I love each and every one of you. So thank you so much for your support recently, guys. Should we talk about foundation rather than YouTube families? Let's do that. So, guys, this is one layer of the Skin Blur, the XX Skin Blur Skin Tint on my face in the shade Soft Beige. Glasses are a little bit foggy, but doesn't matter. Might be able to. Can you see? Wow, wow. Sorry, I did trim my moustache. I just wanted to, you know, get it off my my mouth because it was growing downwards, upwards, inwards, outwards, trying to smother me as it does on a regular basis. But oh, beard conditioner. So far, guys, I am so impressed with this. It is lovely. Colour match, basically superb. And I think it's one of those ones which is so sheer, even if you get your shade off by one or two shades. Say you buy a slightly too light shade or slightly too dark. I think that, do you know what I mean? I think that you would you'd be able to get away with it because you haven't got that walloping great mask-like effect on your face, which stands out like a bleacher beacon, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? So so yeah, I think if you could get away with if you buy the wrong shade, I think you'll get away with it. Is what I'm trying to say in my usual bumbling, waffly old way. But yeah, so I'll come back here a little bit and I'll go and do some filming over in the daylight in a minute so you can see one layer. Wow. Can you see how it's just smoothed my skin? I don't know whether it's blurred it or not though. I'll come in a little bit closer. It's suppose you could say it's blurred my pores, isn't it? Which aren't that big, because at the minute I'm using my facelift in a bottle DIY recipe. Again, I'll link that into the description. And before that I was using my Bacute Shell gel, and for some reason I just stopped using it. But I'm very much like that, do you know what I mean? I just keep stopping and recycling, I guess you could call it, couldn't you? So yep, loving this stuff, loving it. For £10, do you know what I mean? Can't go wrong, guys, can you really? Okay, I'll go and do some filming out of the window. Not actually literally me hanging out the window, but I'll go and do that now. See you in a minute. So beautiful ones. This is the skin tint on in natural daylight, and you can't tell there's anything on my skin, can you? It is amazing. It's blurring. I suppose it is quite blurring. I mean, look at that area there and here. My forehead, it's just given my skin a really, really nice sort of perfected look, hasn't it? It's airbrushed my skin, I guess you could say, but and on the skin it's bone dry now, although it's left a slightly sort of moist sort of skincare-y sort of feeling. So I guess the peptides in this, if there are any in there, I don't think there are, but if it does have peptides in there, then obviously that they are hydrating my skin on some level. But so yeah, £10 well spent, I'd say. Right, okay guys. Right, beautiful ones, let's try and build this up, shall we? And it did say it was medium coverage, didn't it? And I'm just not buying that at all. I think it's sheer to ultra sheer, to be honest with you. So let's get another dollop of that one on there. And as I've already said, it is really, really, really water light. I don't know whether it's oil free or not. I imagine it probably would be. It's there, by the way, beautiful ones. So let's load that one onto this brush, shall we? And it picks up really, really well. There's none of that left on the back. But you know, sometimes foundations can be quite sticky, can't they? And that to get it on the brush, it tends to leave a little bit of the foundation behind. That just picked up totally from the back of my hand. So just finger blend that one. And the reason I do that is just so there's not a great big dollop of foundation the second I apply my brush, though that needs blending in just a little bit more, doesn't it? Right, okay, let's get this on this face, shall we? Stop rabbiting, man, please, and do your job. Whatever. The only criticism I've got of this stuff so far, bearing in mind it's all been positive up until now, is the fact that it is quite difficult to get onto or to push across the skin. It doesn't glide on, and that could be because it might not have silicones in, and silicones are there for slip and for giving your skin a second sort of skin sort of effect. Do you know what I mean? But that's the only criticism. So, and it's nothing like the, you know, the foundation I did the other day. I can't remember the name of it now, but you know, the one I failed, that the Perfecting Foundation, again by Revolution, that was awful. The one that it was like the Prick Stick Foundation, I called it in that video, didn't I? But and that took ages, and that was really, really hard to get across the skin. But this one, not so bad as that, although it doesn't glide onto the skin. But again, for £10, do you know what I mean? Right, get that into the temples, because obviously you need a more uniform look. We're trying to trick people into thinking we've got perfect skin here. So any areas which are exposed, so ears, temples. Put my brush over here. So gorgeous ones. That's now 2 layers of him on my face. And what do you reckon? It hasn't, it has dried, although it's left my, as I said when I was over near the window, it's left my skin feeling very soft, very smooth, very moist. So I guess dry skin could use it. In fact, I've already said it, and I reckon, or any skin could use this formulation. But I'm really liking the way it makes the skin look. Really, really, really lovely. Can you see the very slight glow it gives? I guess it is blurring, is it? Ah, hang on. I just saw a bit of sparkle. Or was that my wild imagination? No, I mean, look here. That area there, and I'll try and enlarge that and put that here just so you guys can. Wow. I don't even think we need to use water with this formulation. I just think it is amazing. It's airbrushed my skin, hasn't it? Literally it has. I mean, I know a lot of these companies claim that this is so-and-so is going to do this to your skin. It's going to make you airbrushed. It's going to make pores vanish. It's going to make you look like an 8-year-old child. But this one is actually living up to its claims, IMHO, in my opinion. So, wow. Colour match, again, very, very close. So if they hadn't have told me that soft beige was pink undertones with a light, to me, a lighter, fair skin shade, I would have been way off. So thank you for that, Revolution. Again, this video is unsponsored, by the way, as are all my videos at the minute, because I haven't found, no one's approached me yet with anything which I'm tempted by, or I would think you beautiful ones out there would benefit from, which is what my channel's all about, guys, isn't it? So yeah. Really, really, really pleased with this. Really, really pleased. And in the name of time, we'll go onto the website now, shall we? And then we'll close, because I don't want to keep you gorgeous ones any longer on this relatively sunny but very, very cold Sunday. Okay, let's do that. So gorgeous ones. Here's the Revolution. It's called revolutionbeauty.com. So if you can't find it in the shops, then just go online and purchase it. Again, I don't know how much packaging and postage and packaging would cost to get it to America. Considerably more than £3.50 I paid for it, but again, I don't know. So this is called, and I'll put these here so you don't have to watch me waffling or stumbling. This is called the XX Revolution Skin Blur Soft Focus Skin Tint, £10. Again, you can see that, can't you? How many shades are there? Well, I'm sure they'll tell us. Right. So guys, the description says blur in a bottle. Fair enough. Introducing the XX Skin Blur, the skincare infused soft focus skin tint. So that will be the peptides, which aren't actually in the formulation, but light to medium coverage, long wearing, and infused with peptides to moisturize and soften skin, maximizing that natural soft blur focus finish. Yep, I agree with all of that. Skin feels moist but yet cared for. And on the skin, I just think my skin looks amazing now. Possibly one shade too pale, but this is winter pale me now. Do you know what I mean? This is how my skin goes in the winter. But that's just awesome, isn't it? It's actually made me look slightly younger, do you reckon? Wishful thinking. Wildly grabbing onto yeah, okay, sorry. Right, and then that's it. Oh no, hang on. No delivery. Yeah, that's it, guys. So they do 15 shades, and our shade was soft beige. So, and the description of that is cool pink undertone, and then there's beige underneath, which again says cool pink undertone. No differentiation between the two there, although I guess that the beige would be slightly darker than the soft beige. So regular viewers to this channel will already know my feelings on Revolution Cosmetics, the fact that their foundations and skin tints are brilliant. Eyeshadows tend to be a bit watery, a bit powdery, not very pigmented at all. Eye products, mascaras, eyeliners and stuff like that, brilliant. Eyebrow products are great too. Skincare, I haven't tried other than the Matrixyl serum or the peptide serum, which I use for one of my DIY recipes. Although this one I am so impressed with. So I'll just mark this out of 10 quickly if that's okay. The bottle itself, I'm going to give that a 10 out of 10. I think that looks really, really trendy, I would say. Not classy, more trendy than classy. And just the fact, do you know what I mean? There's no dispenser or anything, so you can control how much you take out of the tube. Formulation wise, smell, can I give it 30 out of 10? Go on, guys, please let me, please, thank you. Smell, 30 out of 10, because it just smells amazing. Again, vibes of Estee Lauder. So yes, smell, 30 out of 10, definitely. On the skin, I quite like the fact it's water light, so this would be quite nice in the summer too, as well as winter. Did it build up? Yep, we got 2 layers on, didn't we? Possibly 3. Medium, I didn't agree with the medium coverage. Medium, it was sheer to medium, wasn't it? Or just said medium. I'm not buying that one at all. So I'd call this an ultra sheer to a sheer tint. Tints tend to be quite sheer anyway. So the word sheer and tint go together, whereas the word medium coverage and tint don't really go together. Does that make sense? Hope so. Finish on the skin. Wow. I'm going to give it 30, again, 30 out of 10, if that's okay. It just looks awesome, doesn't it? Just gorgeous, absolutely stunning. My skin now looks perfect, feels cared for, hydrated, which is what you want from skin, and especially if you're not using anything underneath it like I tend to. When as I've said before, I don't wear foundation, but if I was going to, say I was going to on a date or something like that, this would be ideal for a date. The brain's whirring now. Do you know, I've got a few dates in the pipeline, so the date's now whirring. Do you know what I mean? Thanks to Tinder and all of that. No, the brain's whirring now, guys. Do you know what I mean? No, I mean, Christmas is coming up, isn't it, guys? So we'll be going to parties and dinners and stuff like that. So if you want something which doesn't look masky or cakey on the skin, just looks ultra natural, going with 1 layer of this. If you want a little bit more coverage, 2 layers. Skin types, all skin types, normal combination, oily, sensitive, dry, could use this, I reckon. It is gorgeous, absolutely stunning. I'm falling for this one big time. And finally, price, £10. You just can't go, I mean, £10, guys, £10. So it's the price of buying yourself a new pair of pants or something. Do you know what I mean? Why did I use that as an example? It doesn't matter, does it, guys? But you could have skin which just looks so good. Wow. So this is a huge pass from the House of Joseph. Wonderful stuff. This is up there next to the CC skin tint, you know, the one which went on white and then changed it, and that is a Holy Grail product of mine. This is now my new Holy Grail skin tint. So thank you so much, Revolution, for just releasing this. I think it's been out for a month to 2 months, so there aren't that many reviews on YouTube, but now there's ours as well. The most important review on YouTube has now been added to the archives. Stop showing off, man. What I'll do, guys, is I'll go and remove this layer, and then I'll put a thin layer on with fingers, because I'm going to go on out to go to the shops. And whilst I'm out, I'll do some filming. But if it's okay with you, gorgeous ones, I'll say goodbye to you now. If you enjoyed today's review, don't forget to give this one a thumbs up. Similarly, consider subscribing, and do hit that notifications button to all once you have subscribed, because otherwise you just won't know when I'm releasing new videos. And all that remains is for me to wish you guys, wish you guys a gorgeous Sunday and have a wonderful week. And I'll see you all very soon. Lots of love. Take care. Bye. Right, beautiful ones, this is me in my bathroom. Welcome to my bathroom. Not very glamorous really, is it? But I've just removed that layer, so that should be plenty for me to go on out with. And so I'm having to crouch down here a little bit because it's not, the mirrors are much lower, and I've stuck my camera hold on to the mirror. And this has given me another opportunity to smell this gorgeous smell again, guys, which I'm so pleased about. You don't know how much scented foundations do actually bother me, because there's no need for it, guys, is there? Although I'm pleased I found this one now. So, clean back of hand. That is, well, not the best application in the world, is it? So just look at my mirror behind me. Just work that one into the old foot. And it's just disappeared. That has literally just disappeared into my skin. It is amazing. Wow. Move it, smooth it onto the neck. Again, the colour's way too pale, but doesn't matter for £10, do you know what I mean? Right, I better go on out, guys. See you soon. Right, guys, I've had the skin tint on for about an hour or so now. You saw me put it on in my bathroom, didn't you? And it is amazing. It's like water on the skin. Perfects the skin, although I have noticed a very slight sort of powdery sort of effect to it, which could make it look a natural, I suppose, although for £10, really. Do you know what I mean? You can't go wrong, really, can you, guys? Anyway, this is me signing off for today. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you all very soon. Lots of love. Take care.